Hello and welcome. You're watching Newsx. In some breaking news coming in this hour, early this morning, India's third evacuation flight under Operation Sindhu successfully landed at New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport. The chartered flight, which took off from Ashgabat in Turkmenistan, brought back approximately 290 Indian nationals, primarily students, who had been flown out of conflict-hit Iran. This marks another critical step in the ongoing humanitarian initiative launched on the 18th of June following escalating hostilities between Iran and Israel. Iran granted special clearance by opening its airspace, allowing 3 charter flights to rescue around 1,000 Indians stranded in cities like Mashhad. Indian officials on the ground, including Secretary Arun Kumar Chatterjee, welcomed the returnees, underscoring India's unwavering commitment to the safety of its citizens abroad. Earlier, evacuees recounted harrowing experiences of missile strikes and bombings and expressed deep gratitude for the swift operations spearheaded by the Ministry of External Affairs. With more flights scheduled, the Indian government and diplomatic channels are working around the clock to evacuate the remaining nationals, estimated in the thousands from Iran. Operation Sindhu remains an active and high priority mission during this crisis. Let's listen in to what Secretary Arun Kumar Chatterjee has said.
ये जैसे मैं बता रहा था, ये ऑपरेशन सिंधु जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में और मार्गदर्शन में हम लोगों ने शुरू किया है, उसमें ये तीसरी फ्लाइट अभी लैंड की है। इसमें 290 भारत के नागरिक ईरान से आए हैं और इसमें लगभग 190 नागरिक जम्मू एंड कश्मीर से हैं। इसके अलावा दिल्ली से हैं, कर्नाटका से हैं, हरियाणा से हैं, पश्चिम बंगाल से हैं और कुछ अन्य और राज्यों से आए हुए हैं। ये हम लोग के हमारे लिए ये बहुत ही खुशी की बात है कि ईरान सरकार ने अपना एयर स्पेस हमारे लिए ओपन कर दिया है और ये भारत और ईरान के बीच जो मैत्री है ये उसको दर्शाता है और ये उस फ्लाइट से आए, उस रूट से आए हुए ये पहली फ्लाइट है। इनको देखकर हमें बड़ी खुशी है क्योंकि ये लोग बहुत खुश हैं देश पहुंचकर और इन्होंने भारत सरकार का शुक्रिया अदा किया है।
My colleague Brian Thomas is joining us for more on this story. Brian, the latest flight carrying 290 Indian nationals has been brought back. Thousands have been evacuated. Take us through the current status of Operation Sindhu and the latest batch of Indian nationals that have landed in the national capital.
Clearly, the evacuation efforts that were started by the Indian Embassy, Indian government, which started with 110 passengers, led up to 290 passengers that happened yesterday itself in the night. And clearly the passengers, when you see them also speaking to us, speaking to the cameras, they were delighted and they were thanking the Indian Prime Minister, they were thanking the Indian Embassy, Indian government, they were having their Indian flags with them, they were saying Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Vande Mataram. And clearly, like you asked, the latest breaking that we are letting you know that the next set of flight for Operation Sindhu will be taking place today from IGI Terminal 3 airport. That will be the first, the flight 1 for today will be at 4:30 p.m. and the second flight for today will be at 11:30. And clearly, you know, the people have been praising the efforts that the Indian government has been taking. They were taking to the cameras to say how delighted and how grateful they are for the Indian government because they did not leave by their side. And also, very importantly, the Indian Embassy there, the Indian government itself, they were monitoring the situation continuously. There was a 24/7 helpline number also that was given to the people, to the residents who were stuck there amidst the crisis that have been going on. And they were very assured itself, be it people coming from Armenia or any place else from Iran, they were all becoming a safe haven. They were given flights with proper scheduling. People who were from Jammu and Kashmir, they got their alternate routes. They were flying back to Delhi. From Delhi, they had another connecting flight or maybe via buses. So they were all covered by the Indian government. Earlier itself, KP Vardhan was also there, the MOS for External Affairs was also there to welcome them, and clearly it is a sign that they believe that the government did not leave by their side and was there with them throughout the entire journey that they started from Iran back to their own hometown, their own country. Yes.
Well, stay on with us, Brian. Meanwhile, let's listen in to reactions of Indians arriving back from Iran.
गया हुआ था वहाँ, और वहाँ पे अच्छी खासा सब चल रहा था। फिर जब हम लोग वहाँ से शिफ्ट करने कुंभ गए तो कुंभ में अचानक पता लगा कि अटैक हो गया है, और उसके जो जहाँ पे तीर्थ स्थान है उसके इर्द गिर्द जो है वो तमाम आवाज़ें आने लगी। तो हम लोग कैद में होटल में रहे। होटल से उसके बाद हम लोग जो है वहाँ से शिफ्ट करके चले गए, कहाँ गए थे, मशहद चले गए। तो मशहद में रहे, वहाँ पे भी जब इस तरह का अटैक होने लगा और वो होने लगा तो हम लोग सब डर गए। होटल में थे। उसके बाद हम लोगों ने जो है भारत सरकार से संपर्क किया। भारत सरकार का इतनी तेज़ एक्शन हुआ जिसकी हम वर्ड नहीं कह सकते हैं। उसके लिए हम आदरणीय मोदी जी और आदरणीय यूपी के मुख्यमंत्री सीएम योगी साहब का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, जिन्होंने ये व्यवस्था की। हम लोग वहाँ से सोच रहे थे कि दिल्ली में उतरेंगे तो फिर कैसे जाएंगे, क्या होंगे, लेकिन जिस तरह की व्यवस्था यहाँ थी उसको हम लोग ज़िंदगी में भूल नहीं सकते।
हालात तो ख़राब हैं, बहुत काफ़ी ख़राब है। ईरान के तो बेसिकली ज़्यादा ख़राब हैं, तेहरान के। इंडिया की सरकार ने हमारी बहुत हेल्प करी है। हम लोग फंसे हुए थे, हम लोग को बॉर्डर क्रॉस करने में बहुत हेल्प करी है, और यूपी की सरकार ने भी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, हमें अपने घर तक पहुंचवा रहे हैं। तो काफ़ी हम लोग थैंक यू करना।
Well, that was the reaction of Indian nationals arriving back in the country from the conflict-hit region. Let's now take a look at the Israel-Iran conflict. In the latest, new wave of missiles from Iran tore through the night skies of Israel and the West Bank in the early hours on Saturday, as the air attacks between Israel and Iran enters its 9th day. Israeli military, the Israel Defense Forces, said sirens were sounded in various areas of Israel as operations to intercept the strikes from Iran was underway. The missiles launched against Israel were also seen from several parts of the West Bank. Remember, the airstrikes began on June 13th when Israel attacked Iran and has alarmed a region that has been on the edge since the start of Israel's war in Gaza in October 2023. My colleague Brian Thomas continues to be with us on the broadcast. Brian, a fresh wave of missiles have been launched from Iran. Take us through the latest developments in the Israel-Iran conflict.
Well, Margarita, clearly, this has reached its 10th day rather, that have been started from where Iran started their attacks, their drone warfare against Israel, and then Israel also retaliated rather with the attacks that they did, and clearly also many hospitals, also many civil infrastructure on Israel was also attacked. And now again, with the latest that we're letting you know, that we're letting our viewers know, that Iran has even launched multiple missile salvos over around 500 ballistic missiles targeting Israeli cities, which includes Haifa, Tel Aviv, Beersheba, and central region. Every now and then, I've been speaking to many Israelis who are living there. They are living amongst fear. We were interviewing them, we were getting them on camera, and we were saying that we were constantly getting these rocket alerts spread via their phone messaging apps, and they were also, if there's a rocket attack or a missile attack that is happening, they're getting 5 minutes before, so that we can relocate to the safe houses to be safe. Because it has been attacking, they have been attacking at the hospital infrastructure, at the public infrastructure. So yes, it's a clear sign that is escalating day by day, and only around 25 have even struck ground also, which was said by the ministry itself, by the IDF, and they also saying that the Israel Iron Dome, which plays a very critical role also, which started from October 2023, it played a really important role to intercept and to make these attacks put on ground. So that helped, where only 25 have struck ground, and there were arrow defense systems also that was helping the Israeli defense system, and even Israeli military alerts also urged residents to enter a protected space that I was saying, and to remain sheltered until further notice, that because there was sirens going on, red alerts going on, that was making it difficult for the people to stay safe. But yes, again, they were even alerts via notifications or messages also that they were receiving constantly. Malvika.
Well, stay with us, Brian. We're also learning that Israel's National Emergency Response Foundation, the Megan David Adom, said that there was no casualty reported in the country after the latest Iranian airstrike, while their teams are still assessing damages. Videos and still photographs shared by the foundation showed a fire incident at the top of a building in central Israel, and residents have been evacuated. The MDA added that no physical injuries have been reported so far. Brian Anthony Thomas continues to be with us. Brian, Israel has stated that no casualties and no injuries have been reported in the latest strikes. Take us through the details.
Malvika, clearly, like I was even mentioning just a while back when we were having a conversation regarding this, clearly Israel has been saying, the IDF has been saying the damages, even though the damages have been intense, that was coming from Iran because it attacked the hospital structures, it attacked the public structures, but clearly they said the Iron Dome, the arrow defense system clearly helped them, where the civilian casualties have been zero. They said yes, there were people injured itself, but again, if we talk about the IDF, the minister, the defense minister also, they were quoting and they were saying that yes, even though they have been attacking and it's a war crime that has been doing by Iran also to their hospital structures, but clearly it has been a better situation because of their defense system, because of they have been successfully intercepting all the attacks, be it the drone attacks, be it the missile attacks or the rocket attacks against them, where the civilian casualties have been recorded as zero.
We'll stay on with us, Brian. We're getting some more breaking news. Israel's military has said that it identified missiles launched from Iran and that defense systems are working to intercept them. The military called on the public to enter a protected space and stay there until further notice. Leaving is only allowed after an explicit directive, the military statement has added. Brian Thomas continues to be with us. Brian, we're learning that the public has been asked to enter protected spaces. So what is the latest that you're picking up from Israel? Are the strikes continuing from Iran's side?
Well, clearly, again, like we've been mentioning, like I've been saying, the latest also attack that happened where 500 missiles were also run through towards Israel were completely intercepted, only 25 struck the ground. Even the IDF has also been confirming the fact that they were launching broad airstrikes also, targeting military and missile infrastructure across central and western Iran, including areas near Tehran, Raj, Caspian, coastal zones itself. Now, talking about the people also, clearly, I have been in touch with the people who are staying in Israel. I've been interviewing with them. There were many civilians also who were there, who again got back to their respective places again. Clearly, they were also saying the same thing that yes, the interception was well regarded. Clearly, they were getting proper notifications via their messaging apps, via their phones that yes, if suppose there is a rocket attack or there is a missile attack that has been happening, they are getting a 10 minutes, 5 minutes prior notification that they need to be relocated to a safe house. And the safe houses have been properly initiated in different places in Tel Aviv, Beersheba, or Jerusalem, all over central Israel, north Israel, completely all around Israel. And there have been sirens also going all over the place for people to be in a safe house. So they have a proper time to relocate from one place to another. So if they are outside, they can get back to the safe houses. So yes, these cautionary measures have been taken by the Israeli authorities. And clearly also they said that the authorities played a very important role. Their drone system, their dome system or their arrow defense mechanism have been playing a very important role to intercept the missiles itself. Yes, Malvika.
We'll stay on with this, Brian. We're also learning that the International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi told media that Iran currently possesses enough nuclear material for several warheads, but stressed that this should not be equated with a nuclear weapon. Grossi has added that the agency has no tangible proof of an active Iranian program to manufacture nuclear weapons, though he acknowledged scattered activities. Let's in fact listen in to what he said.
In terms of the material, I have said in my reports, we have confirmed that Iran does have, even now, enough material for several warheads. But this should not be equated with a nuclear weapon. We do not have, at this point, if you ask me, at this point, any tangible proof that there is a program or a plan to fabricate, to manufacture a nuclear weapon. There are different scattered activities here and there is the material.
Brian Thomas is still with us on the broadcast. Brian, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency has said that Iran possesses enough nuclear material for several warheads, but this should not be equated with nuclear weapons. So what is the latest that you're getting on Iran's nuclear program and the statement by the IAEA?
Well, clearly now the International Atomic Energy Agency has documented damages at nuclear sites that includes Natanz, Isfahan and Arak. Clearly also Natanz has shown internal contamination through no external leak that has detected. Even clearly the Afghan conversion plant also suffered a very critical damage, also delaying Iran's uranium fuel cycle by months. And even Israeli Defense Minister has said that they have clearly helped, get backward for 2 to 3 years of the Iranian nuclear energy. And now Iraq heavy water reactors also appeared to be radioactive, that had radioactive releases also to be hit. And now the IAEA has also warned that further strikes near Bushehr nuclear facilities could also pose serious nuclear safety risk. And even the head also, Rafael Grossi, also urged both nations towards the diplomatic dialogue and committed to facilitating technical oversight also. Yes, Nalasa.
We'll stay with us, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for joining us live. In some more breaking news regarding the Iran-Israel war, we're getting to know that after Iran's latest strikes on Israel, the latter has begun a new wave of attacks in Iran. The Israel Defense Forces released a statement stating that the Air Force has now begun a wave of attacks against missile storage and launch infrastructure in central Iran. My colleague Belly Thomas is joining us live. Belly, we're getting to know that now Israel has also launched strikes against Iran. What is the latest that you're picking up? Belly, can you hear me? Well, Belly will be joining us shortly, but in the latest, we're getting to know that after Iran's latest strikes, Israel has also now begun a new wave of attacks in Iran, with the IDF itself stating that the Air Force, the Israeli Air Force, has begun a wave of attacks against missile storage and launch infrastructure in central Iran. So Israel is also now retaliating and striking Iran's military facilities. Belly Thomas is joining us live for more. Belly, we're now learning that Israel has retaliated after Iran's latest strikes. What is the latest that you're picking up?
Malvika, Iran and Israel have exchanged fresh attacks early on Saturday, a day after Tehran said it would not negotiate over its nuclear program while under threat, and the Europe tried to keep peace talks alive. And shortly after 2:30 a.m. In Israel, the Israeli military warned of an incoming missile barrage from Iran, triggering air raid sirens across parts of central Israel, including Tel Aviv, as well as in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. And the interceptions were visible in the sky over Tel Aviv, with the explosions echoing across the metropolitan area as Israeli air defense systems responded. And at the same time, Israel launched a new wave of attacks against the missile storage and the launch infrastructure sites in Iran. This was confirmed by the Israeli defense sources, and the sirens were also sounded in the southern Israel, and the Israeli National Emergency Service also has been activated. An Israeli military official said that Iran had fired 5 ballistic missiles, and that there were no immediate indications of any missile impacts, and there were no initial reports of casualty, but the emergency service released images showing fire on the roof of a multi-story residential building in central Israel. The local media has reported that the fire was caused by the debris from an intercepted missile. Israel began attacking Iran last Friday, saying its a long-time enemy was on the verge of developing a nuclear weapons, and Iran, which says its nuclear program is only for peaceful purposes, retaliated with missile and drone strikes on Israel. And Israel is widely assumed to possess nuclear weapons. It neither confirms nor denies this. Its air attacks have killed a total of around 639 people in Iran as of now. And according to the human rights activist organization, which is tracking these developments, the dead include military top escalating and nuclear scientists. And when coming to Israel, it's around 24 civilians who have been killed in the Iranian missile attacks, according to authorities. Malvika.
Stay on with us, Belly. We're also learning that tensions have escalated dramatically in the Middle East as explosions were reported early this morning in the central Iranian city of Isfahan. According to Iranian state media, the development comes minutes after the Israel Defense Forces confirmed launching a fresh wave of attacks inside Iran. Air defense systems were activated in Isfahan, which houses Iran's largest nuclear research facility, a site that has previously come under Israeli attack as well. So far, there are no confirmed reports of casualties or damage, but the situation remains extremely tense with global eyes on the region. Belly Thomas continues to be with us. Belly, we're now learning of an Israeli strike in Isfahan, which houses Iran's largest nuclear research facility. And as you said, no casualties have been reported so far. What more can you tell us about the latest wave of attacks by Israel?
Has been attacking several nuclear facilities and military bases across Iran since mid-June, and the unprecedented strike has triggered a days-long exchange of missile attacks between the two countries, and tensions have continued to escalate, and the death toll is rising. And like you said, the Isfahan, which has the nuclear facility, is being targeted by Israel now, is what we are learning at present. And at least 585 people, including 239 civilians, have been killed in the Iran since hostilities began on Friday. According to the Iranian human rights group, around 24 people have been killed in Israel as on Monday morning, and this is being confirmed by the Israeli Prime Minister's office as well. And the Israeli operation against Iran is expected to take more weeks in the future. This moving forward with the implicit U.S. approval, according to the White House and Israeli officials. And the Natanz nuclear facility, the Iran's largest uranium enrichment site, has sustained significant damage in Israeli strikes on June 13th, and describing the site as the heart of the Iran's ballistic missile program. The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had emphasized that Israel would be attacking its strategic places such as Isfahan. Malvika.
Well, stay with us, Belly. We're getting some more breaking news at this hour. A strike on a residential building in the central Iranian city of Qom killed 2 people and injured 4 others, according to reports from the Iranian state media. The strike, which hit the building's 4th floor, was reported shortly after the Israel Defense Forces said that it had begun a new wave of attacks in Iran. The holy city of Qom is close to Iran's secretive Fordo fuel enrichment plant. Belly Thomas continues to be with us. Belly, we're now learning that in this particular strike in Qom, 2 people have been killed while 4 have been injured in a strike on a residential building. What are you picking up?
previously, Malvika, Iran reported that there were 2 people who were killed in an Israeli strike on a high-rise building in the city of Qom, and 4 others were injured. And according to reports, the 4th floor of the building was hit, and one of the casualties is a 16-year-old boy, which is stated in the Iranian media. And it is there were several explosions that were heard from Isfahan, and it is also important to note that the Qom city is largely peaceful, with a lot of Indian population, according to the sources. So now the attack has also come into the city of Qom, where 2 people have been killed and 4 have been injured. We were also told that when the strike initially started with the Israeli forces targeting Tehran, people were evacuated from Tehran, and the safest spot they could reach, they could move these people were to Qom. So a lot of Indians were also moved to Qom, but now the Israeli forces have started their shellings and bombings at Qom as well, Malvika.
Stay on with us, Belly. We're also learning that Tehran has officially filed a complaint with the United Nations Secretary General and the President of the Security Council against Rafael Grossi, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Iran alleges that Grossi failed to act during recent Israeli strikes against its nuclear sites, including damage to remote sites such as Natanz, Esfahan and Arak. In its formal communication to the UN, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization and Deputy Foreign Minister for Legal Affairs accused Grossi of betraying the non-proliferation regime and turning the IAEA into an accomplice by remaining silent. Fifth-tier Iranian officials, including Mohammad Eslami, cited Geneva Conventions violations and UN Charter breaches to justify pursuing legal action in the Security Council. Tehran warns that Grossi's perceived bias undermines the UN agency's credibility and threatens broader non-proliferation efforts. This complaint marks a serious escalation in Tehran's diplomatic offensive against the UN watchdog during what officials describe as a pivotal moment of institutional trust. Belly Thomas is live with us. Belly, Iran has now filed a complaint with the UN Secretary General. Take us through what the complaint is and what exactly it is that Iran is stating while it accuses Rafael Grossi of inaction regarding Israeli strikes.
Iran has filed a complaint with the UN Secretary General and President of the Security Council against the International Atomic Energy Agency head Rafael Grossi, and Iranian UN Ambassador Amir Saeed Iravani condemned Grossi's approach regarding Iran's peaceful nuclear activities, and what he said was a failure to condemn Israel's military action against Iran. This is according to the semi-official Iranian news outlet, the FAR News. Mohammad Eslami, the head of Iran's atomic agency, threatened legal action on Thursday against Grossi for alleged inaction during the Israelis' attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. In early June, Grossi said Iran had continually evaded providing details on its nuclear program, meaning the agency will not be in a position to provide assurance that the Iran's nuclear program is exclusively peaceful. And the UN Security Council, Grossi had warned that attacks on Iran's nuclear sites had caused a sharp degradation in the nuclear safety and security, Malvika.
Well, stay with us, Belly. In some more breaking news coming in, markets were closed and dozens of trucks were stranded at Pakistan's Taftan border with Iran as the key crossing remained shut for a 6th consecutive day, crippling trade and inflicting heavy losses on businesses. The escalating tensions between Iran and Israel prompted Pakistan to suspend operations at the Taftan crossing on June 15th, mirroring the Iranian side's restrictions following Israeli airstrikes. The Taftan border, a vital trade artery which typically handles daily exchanges in fuel, food and household goods, is now left paralyzed with dozens of trucks stuck in limbo. Belly Thomas is live with us on the broadcast. Belly, we're learning that the Pakistan border with Iran continues to remain shut since June 15th. So what is it that you're picking up regarding the Pakistan-Iran crossing?
Malvika, Islamabad has expressed concerns about the anti-Pakistan outfits on the border between Iran and Pakistan amid fears of the Iranian regime being destabilized during its escalating conflict with Israel. And during a meeting between the Pakistan Field Marshal Asim Munir and US President Donald Trump, the former had reportedly indicated that the country, Pakistan, was worried about the separatist and jihadi elements on the Pakistan-Iran border taking advantage of the conflict with Israel. And anti-Iranian and Pakistani outfits operate on both the sides within a 900-kilometer range border. And Israel, during military campaign, has indicated that they are seeking to ensure the collapse of the Iranian government. And Pakistan has condemned Israel's attack on Iran as a violation of international law. Jaish al-Adl, an Iranian jihadist group formed from the ethnic Baloch and Sunni Muslim minorities and which operates from Pakistan, says that Israel's conflict with Iran was of great opportunity. And Jaish al-Adl extends the hand of brotherhood and friendship to all the people of Iran and calls on all the people, especially the people of Balochistan, as well as the armed forces, to join the ranks of resistance. This group had said in a statement on June 13th. So the border, on June 15th, the border between the Pakistan and Iran has been closed, fearing that the separatist militants from its own Baloch minority, which are based in Iran, will seek to escalate the attack, as there are also fears of ungoverned spaces, which would be a fertile ground for terrorist groups to take advantage of this opportunity, Malvika.
Well, thank you so much, Belly, for joining us with those updates. Meanwhile, that's all for this bulletin. We'll take a short break.